Hey folks, Vic here with your weekly trade video, and for this week's video I want to talk about trading mindset by showing you trades that without a proper mindset you would simply miss out on some very large pip gains. Like the right mindset is not just important, it's fundamental to becoming a consistently profitable trader. Unfortunately, the tendency among novice traders is to abandon a trading approach as soon as there are losses, which is so disappointing for Darko and I to see. Like, we talk about this quite often because we know that losses are normal with a probability game. And in fact, probability means just that, right? It's probable. It's a tendency to happen, but it's not guaranteed. There will be wins and losses. However, the size and the frequency of the wins will outstrip the losses because of the fact that we have an edge. Okay? It's just that simple. But, you know, for new traders, it's not easy to embrace that understanding. So I hope that by showing you these large pip gains, it'll help you to understand the necessity of having the right approach mentally. And by seeing these over and over, hopefully you'll develop the confidence that these can't all be flukes, right? I mean, not after Darko's been showing these in advance for like 6 years and counting. As you may know, Darko had his best 7 months of trading ever from January to the end of July this year. August was flat. September was a slight losing month. And now the month of October was a very nice winning month with no losing trades, and we're looking really good heading into the last few months of the year. So, you know, we'll see how it all unfolds. So I hope you like this video. If so, please don't forget to give it a thumbs up. We'd really appreciate that. And what I'll do now is show you a couple of the trades that Darko pointed out in advance for the long-term trading members during October and that are still ongoing. Okay, let's take a look here. So the thing with any kind of trading is that it requires great patience, but especially with long-term trading, and I'm talking mostly about swing trading, but swing or position trading. Most of Darko's trades are swing trades. These kind of trades are not meant to be babysat, right? Where you're constantly staring at your screen, you know, drumming your fingers, whatever. You put them on, you set some alerts at price levels where you're interested in, like target prices or places where you might want to move your stop, that kind of thing, and you leave it alone. So let's take a look at a couple of examples of this. These are from trades that Darko pointed out to our members in advance, as always, in October, that have made super nice moves so far, and they're still going, actually. So this is the Aussie CAD here. And if you notice, like, you know, this is what Darko does, and he'll look at the yearly picture first, because we don't trade from the yearly chart by any means, but it's a great way to get a bias. He's been using it very effectively for a while now. And then on the monthly chart, you know, he notices that, hey, this thing's going down, down, down. Like, see these candles? They're all negative. There's nothing positive about anything on the monthly chart until here, where we have this pin bar reversal, which we call an ACAT. And it comes down into, look where it came down, and see these levels here and here. There's a neckline right there, and this level over here. Actually, in here, too, it reacted a little bit. It's an area of interest, and with this kind of reaction, now you go down and you start looking at your lower time frames. And in fact, what he did is he ended up looking at the 4-hour chart on this and identified this level right here as an entry. I think I showed this in a weekly trade video here a few weeks ago. I'm not sure. I think I did. In any event, this trade went up like this, okay? And the trade, by the way, was entered at around 86.40. Needed about a 100 pip stop. It has now been up about 260 pips. Okay, there's still no reason to get out of it. But let's have a look what happened here. Once price was entered, it went up and hit this level. This is actually a daily level, and this is all part of trade management. If you look at the daily chart, that is, the entry was here. It went up and hit this level right here. It's a place to look to take a bit of profit. Okay, and so Darko was very clear when that happened. He said, I'm still staying in this trade with my stop down here. Because this trade ain't necessarily over. This is a yearly, a monthly setup. So we want to try to ride this thing. And he was very clear about he was not going to be taking it off here. And look what happened. It started to rally and rally and rally. And look at the higher lows coming up here and that. And so obviously it's been a great move. And there's, like I say, still no reason to get out of the trade. The other one, I'll show you another one here. It was on a New Zealand Canadian dollar pair right here. And it was the same story, like it was the monthly chart, just saying down, 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 and finally right here, right? See how it's there was a spike down at this level here, and this time we make a pin bar reversal, an ACAT right there. And just drilling down on this, like there was actually a big what we call a swing break rotation. It's kind of an inverse head and shoulders set up here. And this particular trade, he got into this around the 80.45 as a longer term trade with a stop. The stop, I believe, was below here, which never got hit. And it needed about an 80 pip risk, okay, and has now made a 2-to-1 reward risk, and it's still going, okay. And again, you know, like it's the same story. You put these trades on and you leave them alone. That you can't fiddle with them and fret over them. You got to have the right mindset for this kind of trading. You just don't sweat over it. You've got your risk predetermined. You're not going to lose a large amount of your account if you get stopped out. That kind of thing. Hey, by the way, I actually in last week's video I showed you how you could have gotten into this trade with even less pip risk by dropping down to your 4-hour chart. And there was another very good. This is another one of those inverted head and shoulders swing break rotations that we call. And this trade, like, so you actually first you might want to go back and listen to that trade, and I kind of give it more detail. But entering on the 4-hour, the initial stop would only be about 50 pips. It's been up 200 pips, over 200 pips. That's a 4-to-1 reward risk on this thing so far. Okay, and, you know, I want to say one more thing, and this brings me up to another comment that I want to make before I wrap this up. At the beginning of next week, I highly, highly encourage you to listen to Darko's next podcast. It's one that, I hate to sound dramatic about these things, but honestly, it could completely change the way you approach trading. And you'll hear Darko talk about how it completely changed his trading forever. And I can attest to that because I watched his own personal trading account during this time. I'll let him explain it in the podcast, but it's really well worth listening to. Okay, so I hope that video helped you try to understand the kind of mental approach and the mindset that you need in the trading game so that you're not killing off your potential for better results. It's truly a fundamental shift that you need to make in your thinking when it comes to trading, okay? As always, thank you all so very much for listening, and we really appreciate it. And I truly hope that the video was beneficial to you in some way. Alrighty? Hope you all have a great weekend. Take care.